That's pretty legit. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here. We're here at the cryptolifer. Bang, bang, bang on YouTube. Check us out. Back inside the studio, though. Hey, everyone, I just want you to know that I love you, that we're going to have a great show today. And you know what? We're going to put the lemon in the water. Even though it's Sunday night, we're going to put the lemon in the water for Bitcoin. And Bitcoin. And wait. Let's get a little sip of water here. And I'm going to put my glasses on because it's going to be a bit of a stream. And I feel like I just may need it. So here we go. I'm a little washy here, but here, it is what it is. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for coming on in. Let's get into the live, baby. Let's get into the live. Let's bring that music back on up. Let's get it going. No, I worked at that edit for weeks now. I've now slowly perfected that edit. It's not that easy. It takes a few little moves. Let me move into the mic here and get situated. Shout out to each and every one of you for being here. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for sharing your most precious asset with me, and that is your time. You're here with the cryptolifer. Thank you so much for jumping on in. Wow, that's nice and loud in the zone. Okay, so, Bitcoin. Let's talk about Bitcoin. Let's break down Bitcoin. And the Bitcoin and the weekly candle close. Every week we do that. You should do it with me. I was thinking about, does some people do that with me? It helps. You get like everything from the week out. You just like, blah. You know what I'm saying? All the stress, all the pain, all the anguish, you just blow it all out for the weekly candle close. You're ready to go. You're ready to go. You feel good. You feel great. Feel situated. Feel, like I blew it all out. Like what else is left inside? I feel like I'm a little washy. Yeah, brought that light down just a little bit. I was a little washed. All right, so shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Let's take a look at Bitcoin on the weekly close every single Sunday night. If you didn't know, I'm here at 8 o'clock to go over, 8:10, but we start the show at 8. I started a little early today, if you didn't notice, to go over Bitcoin and the weekly candle close. So right now, we're going to take a look at the candle and see what happened. It was a nasty candle. Horrible. We lost this point of control and came right down to this one and even lost this level of liquidity. Usually when you lose this zone, you head right down here to 18,700 area. We did wick down there already and got bought back up. We do have these two candle closes here on the weekly. So right now you can see that is weekly support at 19,300. We haven't gone below that until that breaks. We're okay. And that's simple. That's just weekly support. So we sit on the weekly. Also, this is a bit of a double bottom on the weekly. This is forming to be a bit of a double bottom on the weekly. You know what? Anything is possible. We'll go from there, all right? And we could also dump all the way to 16K, 15K. You never know. We're going to get down to the probabilities of that happening each and every day, and we're going to show you the levels that you need to watch every single day, all right? It's not really about being wrong or right here. It's more about just showing you the levels that you need to watch every single day. So if you come here, you're going to be like, all right, I know where the support, I know the resistance. If Bitcoin doesn't break above this zone, we're highly likely not to get to this yada, yada, yada. Like huge resistance on the weekly at 21,800. That's going to be a big level, and huge resistance on the weekly here at about 21,000 even. So we got the lemon in the water. Let's take a big sip of the lemon water. Okay, and we're going to get into Bitcoin in a second, too, what I looked at this morning. Shout out to anyone who jumped into the morning update. I really appreciate that. 5 minutes, real quick update, breaking down Bitcoin, looking at the levels to watch, seeing what could happen. We did hit 19,400. the low level that I don't want us to break. That's kind of like my last level that's like okay for us to hit. We'll talk about why I think that's okay to hit and why anything lower than that could be a problem. Love light to everyone for the new week. Shout out to Amber Coleman. Thank you so much for the love, Amber. Much respect to you and yours. Shout out to the love. Shout out the love right back to you and yours. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in, sharing your most precious asset with me, and that is your time. Shout out to the 300 lifers here. 139 likes. Can I get the likes up to the watchers? I would greatly appreciate it. Okay. And we got nail-biter football games. It's hard to punch through, but I get it. I get it. If you're here for the weekly close, you are dedicated to crypto. We call you a lifer. All right? That's what we do. It is what it is. Okay? Okay, so moving forward. Moving forward, brother. Moving forward. Forgot I can make that music a little louder. Bring this down for you. Just want to... Good levels, good levels. All right, so here. Let's take a look. I just look at the candle, too. You have LUNC up here. A lot of people just bypass this information. It's good to know. So the candle opened at 21,800, right at resistance. The high was 22,792. We went to 22,800. Couldn't hack it. The low was 19,300. We tussled with the weekly closes here with this wick. All right, and we would close back at 19,420, 58 cents. The candle would go down 2,400, an 11% loss for Bitcoin. Bear City, right? Tough times for bitty Bitcoin. Well below the 200 simple, okay? The 21 about to cross below the 200. Not a good sign. What follows from that is the 50 coming for the 200. Do we dare to death cross down to 10K, 8K? Do we go to 3K like the biggest bears have said? Anything is possible for Bitcoin. I am ready for the rally or the loss of a lifetime. Anything could happen, right? And to accumulate down at the lows. So anything can happen. Do we go all the way down to 3K? I'd hope not, but you know what? I'm ready for it, and you know what? You have to be open-minded. If you're not ready for the lowest of the lows, then you're not ready for the highest of the highs. I'm ready to wait, no matter how long it takes. I hope I don't have to die, but you know what I mean. So look, I mean, this trend line just was respected, and we can't get above it. Clear as day. Can't get above the trend line on the weekly chart. When you can't beat a trend line, you're likely to come back down to the lower part of the trend line. So this is like, we are battling. And honestly, if you lose a POC, you're likely to head down, or a high volume note, you're likely to head down to the next one. When you look at this, well, yeah, when we get rid of this and we just look at the local volume, you can clearly see that the last big chunk of liquidity is right down here, you know, in between 14,000 and the low of like $7,000 area. So does Bitcoin come back down to 14K? Do we revisit 12,000? Do we come back down to the $10,000 area? I mean, it would make coins so beautifully cheap, it would be ridiculous. Like Matic would be back at 10 cents or something, right? I mean, some of these coins that were super high would be back on their lows. The measured move, length of this pole, and we've been doing this a lot and been very accurate with them, is 13,596. Okay? Remember, I put out a bear flag of 7K. Remember that? A long, long time ago. When did I get to 7K? I think I was doing something like this. I just got allergies today, everybody. I have no idea why, but they're bad. Been having a headache, been feeling a little down for most of the day. I tried to hide it. I was going to say I feel great. I was going to act like everything's buttery, but it's just not. So look, I've been forming this flag. Look, 70, 82, 7,800. Yeah, you can kind of play with 7,000 and 7,800 area, and I drew this a long time ago, right? It's just, I took wick all the way to the wick, and then you touch the area, right? I put this out, I believe, on BitBoy or some other channel, and I remember another channel talking about it. Two guys being like, what about that guy Lifer talking about 7,000, Now the people who said that are like, wow, I mean, and I was saying 7K when we were somewhere up in here. And I'm not saying I'm the smartest guy in the world. I'm not saying I got it right. All right? I'm not trying to be like, look, I get everything right. That's not what I'm saying. All I'm saying is I proposed these ideas that were possible. That's all. I brought them up. I said, hey, this may happen. That's all. When a lot of other people may not have even said a word, but I did propose these ideas that they may happen. So let's look at the nitty gritty for Bitcoin. The weekly's not looking great at all. All right, let's double click here. and get back to my indicators that I use daily, stochastics are getting above the, they're cooked again. And I play these stochastics. You made a high, you came back up, you made a lower high, you're likely to dump to the downside. That's just how it plays out, my friends. So even though it goes against, like no one wants Bitcoin to dump, I mean, that weekly is suggesting that we head back down somewhere to 13,000 and have ourselves a real nasty bear market. So anything is possible. We could defy logic, and we're going to get into the smaller time frames. But right now, that weekly does not look good to us. We made a lower high. You made a low, you made a high, you made a higher low, you made a lower high. It suggests now that you're going to make a lower low. Can this double bottom, triple bottom, this support region of 19,300 hold? And you can see we're right at the precipice of 19,003. We have yet to close a weekly candle below 19,300 ever since December of 2020. You see that? That was the last time we closed the candle. Or actually, right, the one even before it, actually, because this one closed above it. You see? So right here is the last time we would close a candle below 19,300 on the weekly chart. On the weekly. So these are things I just want to point out. You may not have heard about. You may not have, So also, the 200, well below it, fighting for our lives here. Bear market territory. Okay. I'm a stochastics RSI trader, and I do not like where the weekly is sitting here. However, there was this one anomaly, which I always, cling of hopium, back around here, where we were in the similar spot where we had went up, kind of made a double top. I would have said, hey, things aren't looking too good here. We were somewhere right in this region. However, things were looking far more bullish there, but we would just spark to the upside. But things were bullish. We were above multiple moving averages. Like, it was a completely different scenario, So in my mind, yes, that was an anomaly, but there was also a lot more at play there going on that would create that phenomenon. So moving back in time, space, and here we go. Hold on, I still feel like, you know what it is? That's what it is. It just, I think it changes at night a little bit. That should be better. I was just too bright, and I couldn't handle it. You know what I'm saying? Okay. I thought about my audio was low, but no, that's you and your spirits seem very low. I'm sick, man. I don't feel good, dude. Tons of crypto stream watchers love their guy to be right. My go shows up daily. Sam Price, the lifer. Love y'all. Looks perfect. What's up, lifer? Thanks for all you do every day. Thoughts on how high prices can go for coins like ETH and Cardano? Hex 2 cycles from now. Looks good. I never see that candle. You are a bright guy. Shout out to Waleed Siam. Thank you. Yeah, I was sneezing all day, and I just have I'm just stuffed up, Sorry, you want to hear that? It's gross. I usually mute when I'm doing that. Sam, have you been drinking your honey? You know what? I haven't been drinking my honey, man. I got to get back on it. Low spirits, my art. He's good every day. The seasons are changing, man. It happens to the best of us. That's why. I'm a BTC shrimp, and I want to be at least a Bitcoin crab. So a dip, not so bad for me. Hey, that's what I always say. I say these would be blessings of a lifetime. Okay? So that's your measured move. 14,000. All right? Where do we get that? If you made this a flag, and you took your a nice flag move here, I mean, you could easily get a move back down to about 14,000. What's up, lifer? Thanks for all you do every day. 100 thoughts on how high prices can go for coins like ETH, Cardano, and Hex 2 cycles from now. I mean, I believe you could see Cardano $5, $6, $7, right? Ethereum 8, 9, 10 grand, right? Hex, who knows? I don't really pay attention to the price of Hex, so I wouldn't be able to tell you that. I'd have to look at Hex closer than that. I may do that. I don't know if I want to go and really dabble with Hex right now. I got a pounding headache. I don't know if I want hex in my head right now. Look, the 2-week also making a bullish drop to the downside here, and we could just we could hang out. You know, just because we're low doesn't mean we can't go lower. So the 2-week chart also suffering and, you know, making lower lows, just unable to get above the zone. Can we double bottom out of this? You know, I believe we're closer to the bottom than the top, but how long we stay down here? I mean, this is a bear market. We could stay down here. We don't have until April or May of 2024, okay? So I will tell you, though, I think projects are going to start coming out. This bear market is completely different. Let's talk about the gains today that we made in the trading group. Bang, bang, bang. So, right off the bat, right, I was looking at HOD. HOD was pumping. So what I do is I wake up, I start looking at the market, and I take my ganders, right? Kava Lend, right? So I took a look at HOD. It's a little HOD there, huh? And this is what happened. I love this. So I'm sitting here. My brain just can see it, right? It can just see things before they happen. So I go back in time, and I'm sitting here, and I just see this. And I'm like, whoa. And I see, you know, lack of bearish momentum. I see the falling volume with falling price. I see price touching the 21-day moving average. I see this in a falling wedge, and I see the stochastics. And I say, huh, that is interesting to me. So if you're in my trading group, all right, then you learn exactly what I'm teaching right now. And I talk about it all the time. I could shill my class, which I probably will right now, which you could take on Tuesday from 3 to 5. All right. But I can also just show you how we get it done every single day. And I think that's a lot funner to do. And then if you want these types of behavioral gains, then jump on in. You know what I mean? So look, you can see then I'm up at 12:10 p.m. watching hard. Possible scalp. No, not early, but you know, I'm up today. Possible scalp on the 5-minute. Only experienced traders on these scalps, you know, because I knew it was going to be a pretty fast scalp. 5-minute chart. Heart was going to beating. You had to be at your computer staring at it. You couldn't just like hit it and walk away. So I didn't want some beginner, someone just jumping in the group thinking they could just kind of, like, this was a serious trade to me that I was looking at, you know, and it had to fit your trading style. Had to be what you wanted to do, had to fit every single thing that you're into, right? But again, MACD turning, falling volume, falling price. It had that je ne sais quoi, right, that we go over on this channel day in and day out. I popped this back up. Where do you get the measured move? How can you figure out you're going to make 32, almost 33% gains? I wasn't even greedy and took the length of this. I just took the algorithmic length of the pole. And I'd be like, you know, we're happy with the length of the pole. You press play, bam, bam, bam. Nailed the target. Look at that. And actually, this thing is trucking along. There may be some more gains coming as it's going pretty nicely sideways. All right, we'll talk about that in a second. But right now, look, 32% gains in a matter of like an hour to 56 minutes. Bang, bang, bang. And that's not the only thing that happened in the trading group today in the last couple of days. If we go and look at the gains in the trading group, which I like to do myself, because I have other people in the trading group besides me. So, you know, sweat. Beautiful. At 2:30 in the morning, out in South Africa, my man is working 24/7. This thing came up, bounced. He said, can we come up, get the bounce? It came up. It did get the bounce. Look at that. Just as he was showing you that it possibly may do. And look, that's a shoulder, a head, and a right shoulder. You see that? Inverted head and shoulder. Breaks to the upside. The measured move was the length of here to here. It hit it. See, he's showing you possible right shoulder here. He calls it. He calls the move as it plays out. Man, 52% gains. And I could lie and say that was me, but that's not what I do. I got elite traders that work with me that I've trained, and I'm proud to show that they do this. They sat with me, they've been trained by me, and now this is what they do. Their work, I could pass away, and his work would speak for itself forever about the trading system of the lifer. Look at this nice flag banged on him for 10.4% gains. 2 in the morning, you wake up at 10, in the money, baby, in the money. And then Adam 3L, which kept trucking along, did get a nice pump out of the flag for 15.9% gains. 4 beautiful trades that banged on him. All right, near 3S I even put out, right? Yesterday at 9:37 p.m. Today is the 18th, yeah. At 12 o'clock lunchtime, this thing was banging on him for 14%. Actually went for a little more to the upside. And who could have forgotten? The winner of the month of September, the gem of the month, the crown jewel of the month, Pastel, PSL going up 630% gains. Unreal. Unbelievable. We spotted a double bottom on the 12th of September at 7:50 p.m. My, oh my, a week later, that thing would pay, or 5 days later, it would pay for massive gains. Massive gains. Never mind near that was in this beautiful little channel and would pump for 60. After it pumped, we would give you another little flag that would pump again. That pumped for like 30%. Unbelievable. In case someone didn't know how to, we just continue to feed the need. Here's the first one. Bang. It went up 22. Made another flag, right? When in doubt, flag it out. We added the flag, banged again. You could learn from these alone, backtest these alone, and you can get to these for free. My goodness. I could teach you how to bang on them. Just pay attention every single day. Keep your eyes peeled. Keep your ears open. There's got to be something you can learn. I use YouTube my whole life. Whenever I got onto YouTube, every once in a while I used it for entertainment, But 90% of the time, I use YouTube to better myself. I listened to Jim Rohn. I read quotes of famous people. I tried to find ideas and reasons why things could be better. I researched people who did inventions. I taught myself math equations, taught yourself how to, you can do anything you want. You know what I'm saying? You can do anything you want. Anything you want. It's so beautiful. So hard. This thing could bang for more. There's no guarantees. Kind of seeing one of these ideas here, which I've seen this before. Somewhat of an inverted, could be like a retest, It's a bit of a stretch. You look at the bigger time frames, it's cooked. So it's almost a better idea. In my personal opinion, we took it for gains, even took it for the next one. Mad wicks in the 4-hour overbought. Yes, you could get it for a wick or a scalp. Personally, I'm not a financial advisor. Nothing I say and do should be taken as such. I leave it alone. I want to see this come back down. I want to see the 21-day cross. But look, a golden cross on the 4-hour too, though. 21 crossing the moving averages, like these are good signs of possibly more to come. So altcoins having a bit of a rally. Double bottom here for the altcoins. Quite interesting. Let's look at ETH BTC. I want to see what ETH BTC is doing. And that's going to give you a little indication of how the altcoins are attempting to bang against Bitcoin, with Bitcoin, on or on Bitcoin. It all depends, right? So we've been seeing ETH, almost have to go to the weekly for this, in this giant triangle that could be getting tight, that I believe eventually will break to the upside for Ethereum. However, right now I do see some downside for Ethereum against Bitcoin, unless we can break above the resistance at 0.087112, right? But this fever in my head, I am like, man. I wish I could show it. I want to show it. So his son loves to do the candle close with me, man. That's awesome. I love that. That's my buddy's son doing the candle close. That's amazing. I know we're double topping up here, and the weekly's overbought. This is, very similar to Bitcoin, though. It's almost like front running Bitcoin. It's almost like they're both dropping, and maybe ETH will drop more because ETH is smaller. So that's the thing. When we pump, ETH pumps more, right? When we drop, ETH drops more, and it's kind of the same ugly business, Lunacy trying to hang out in the game. Let's take a look at what we had here. So we did get a nice pump up for about 26% gain. Shout out to anyone that grabbed in on that. Shoulder head, there's your right shoulder again. Similar to what Rainier had drawn there. Similar idea here. They came out, bounced. We had hidden bullish divergence that did pump to the upside. We're coming back down for either this double bottom to revisit. I'm not saying jump in on this. I don't like to trade, honestly, Sunday night into Monday morning. I like to leave the markets alone and let the markets do their crazy dumpage and pumpage. I like to watch the people just get liquidated. I like to wake up the next morning and see the carnage. If there's an amazing trade that I just have to take and my alert goes off, then of course I'm going to take it. But for the most part, I try to stay away from trading Sunday night into Monday morning. And someone will be like, why do you do that, Lifer? Well, because it's the most volatile time. If you're going to trade 365 days a year, if you're going to be in the game your entire life, then you got to have some hours or times where you'd rather observe the market. You cannot be in the market every single moment of your life. I mean, I kind of am because I'm always long Bitcoin. I don't know if that's an oxymoron, but And my man said, at your work, still the best. And so look, if you did watch my stream this morning, I had talked about this flag that could break to the upside possibly, right? Let's take a look at what I discussed. No, because I want to be, I like to hold myself exactly accountable to exactly what I said. Because some people try to say, oh, no, you didn't do that. I'm like, yes, I did, dude. I said exactly this and that. And I like to be like, if I was wrong or wrong, if I was right or right. So here's the deal. We were in this flag this morning, right? And the 1 hour is low. And I said, man, I suggest that the 1 hour does pump out of this flag. I said the measured move of this flag would take you just the length of this pole, right? It was straighter then, and then I would always move it like something like this, right? And that would take us to about 20,191. I said, but we still got to get above that area, and that's resistance, that's resistance. And I said, we still have a bunch of resistance. And I said, until the bulls get back above 20,500, it still doesn't mean anything. Like, we don't have any real true bullish momentum. I went to the 15-minute, and the 15-minute was bearish, right? So I suggested I see the 15-minute coming down and dropping to the downside. The 15-minute did that, hung out around here, but then it broke down and bearishly retested. Then once we came back up again on the 15, and this is why the Stokes on the 15-minute are so beautiful. Look, the Stokes, and that's why when people are like, I'm not trading Stokes anymore, I worry. Like someone in my group yesterday was like, I'm not trading Stokes anymore, they're too wiggly. And I'm like, because like, look how easy this was. Stokes made a high, we were here. We came back down, we tried to come back up. Stokes made another high, and that was lower than that high. That tells you to short the market. It's also right at a POC, which you can't get back above, which, or a high volume node, whatever you want to call it. If you zoom back in, it's a POC. You see that? And bang, 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 we end up losing this area because, look, this is what's called a POC, a point of control on the VRVP, where there's heavy buy and sell orders hanging out. This is where the magic happens. This is where people get down, Everyone, please hit that like button. I would greatly appreciate it. It is my bread and butter. It's how we get to the next level. It's how my channel got where it is today. By beautiful people doing beautiful things. I would appreciate it if you keep being beautiful. 494 people, 494 likes would be awesome. It would be like such a blessing. And I would, dear Lord, thank you for the likes that I do have. And maybe be grateful for even more. Amen, amen, amen. Thank you. So look, keep it moving. Do we have any divergence? I mean, we have a slight divergence, but not really, nothing crazy. We are double bottoming here at 19,350, right? Now, my last area really that I felt like could be possible was this area, and we'll talk about why, right? So I drew this upward trend line, okay? And you can see that there's really no liquidity on the VRVP, and usually when you lose this area, you're likely to come back down to this batch zone at 18,700. So it is more likely that we come down into that zone. All right. So we did, yeah. So like I was expecting the 1 hour to give us more of a pump today. I really was. I'll be dead honest with everybody. I was expecting the 1 hour to pump up here at least to give us the zone. However, I did get super sick. I started sneezing and I literally had to lay down. Like I don't feel well. That's when I missed this right here. Look. Which was a simple shoulder, head, shoulder. And that has a measured move from the length of this here, and then you go to your shoulder to the downside. And look, I'll just delete everything and show you freshly. But you'd be here. And check it out. At the end of the day, it's all about your support and resistance zones. You resisted here, you resisted here. Okay, 20,200. That's your next, Then it started with 20,000. Then you couldn't get above 20K. Right? Then you started hearing me say, if a candle can't close above 20,000, short it. Right? That's been like my new harping word, right? 20,000, 20,000. You can't get above 20. Then it was 19,090, 900. And we played with it. And it seemed like 19,090 was going to hold, 900 was going to hold because we had this zone here. We bounced. We were playing with it. We fell below it, retested. And you can see now we're just continuing to fall to the downside. So what I do now is I do what's called freestyle. I want to see it for what it is every week, fresh, new. So I'm not biased to what we, Number one, we have to be open-minded and say, clear as day, anyone that knows trading says that's a double bottom. All right, and there's a measured move there for the double bottom, and that's your measured move. You would take it from the length of the pole, from the neckline, and see where the neckline would break up. And that is your measured move, 30,300, all right, 299. That's just, okay, right off the bat. And I'm not saying this is happening. The problem is when people show stuff like this, then every person takes this clip and says the big lifer said that we're double bottoming and we're definitely going to 30K, and then we don't, and he said what a liar, he's full of garbage. I'm not saying we're going to 30K. I just want to make it really clear. I want to make it very, very clear. We need 200 more likes to get the winner dinner chicken dinner. Who wants to eat winner chicken dinner with me tonight, please? Let's get up to 500 likes. Wouldn't it be amazing to watch this freaking weekly candle close bang on them all the way to the upside? Shout out to Nick Jacaruso. I appreciate you so much. When do you use Hikinashi versus regular candles when doing analysis? Never. To use Hikinashi, you'd have to use it all the time and really get into it. To me, I don't use it, so it would take me months, and in those time periods, I would be missing all of the probabilities that I get with what I do now. So it would be tough for me, you see? Like, it would be really tough for me. And honestly, remember what I taught you. Hit Alt-I, hit Alt-F, draw your Fibonacci exactly as you would the same way, then hit Alt-Back-I again. And look, you can see that you came to the 618 golden pocket, but just to the upside. Coming back down now, and that was, a general. So can we kind of bounce back from these areas from the beginnings of the fib? Right? And wow, what an ugly pattern for sure. It's like we broke out and we're retesting the low areas here. We do have daily support and resistance right where we're at too. Right there. Hold on, I wanted to put it in. That doesn't sound right. It doesn't, but you know what I mean. Like, I just wanted to put the line in. So right there at 19,336. So can we hold? And I show you how important that level is. The daily attempting a bounce. The 22-hour is the one time frame that to me is like screaming that it's found some type of area that it wants to bounce from. And I've been holding to this idea, right? So we look for our high zone, our high resistance and supportive resistance. And it's right here at about 25,000. All right. We all know that. So until we get above 25K, nothing's going crazy. We're not going to 30. We're not going to 50. We're not going to 100. So like we can all, because people just like to get real funny, right? And I like to just look at it exactly for how it is. Control C, Control V. There you go. And then I'm just taking us to our low zone. All right. So here's our high range. Here's our low range. We're still somewhere in the middle range chop period, right? Where we could get somewhat of a bounce. We haven't hit our exact low range area yet. I'm just breaking it down. I was also considering, are we in this estranged falling wedge? That's just been kind of weirded out for a while here. And do we break back to the upside on the 22-hour? And do we come back, So this is something that's hard to see, that most people wouldn't be able to see. Now, look, the 22-hour, why this is interesting to me, and why I keep having this more bullish sentiment when I normally, and honestly, anything could happen. I want to be open-minded. I like to say I know nothing but fact of my own ignorance. Who knows? We could dump all the way to 14K tomorrow, and you got to be open-minded. You can't just be like, oh, we have to do this, we have to do that. You have to be just completely open-minded, right? But when this 22-hour gets low, we have seen pumps every single time. So it would be strange if this doesn't pump probability-wise, at least to, this resistance here, or this resistance here. You see? So to me, this is the simplest chart that we can draw. A falling wedge they keep leaving and coming back into, and you can see it's kind of still holding this diagonal trend line and respecting this top trend line. And then I keep drawing, last to confuse you one more time, but I just keep drawing this ascending triangle, symmetrical triangle that we got going on here. And even if we get a little lower like this, like I was saying, like we still have a bit of a triangle. What I don't like is that we did break this point of control. And that's not a good sign. We would have to get back above this red line sooner than later We could barely retest this. That would be a big short area. So 19,008, you see us break back up into that zone and not get any more real fireworks. I mean, that's a huge zone to short. But we see us get back above the zone, and you see on the 5 minute, like a little retest, boom, you would be surprised how quick we could skyrocket back to 21.5 and just jump through this liquidity hoop. Look, we fell through it here fast. Let me show you. We fell through it here really fast. Up, boom. We fell through down here fast. Boom. We'll come up really quick too. Don't be surprised how fast they'll short squeeze this whole market. They'll make everyone think we're going down and they'll squeeze us. You know, is this a bear trap? Are they attempting to trap the bears against the zone here? And this is what I'm trying to keep you open-minded about. I'm not trying to be right or wrong all the time. I'm just trying to keep you on your toes. I want you to see things that the rest of the people are just sitting back and being like, nah, ain't gonna happen. I want you to have an edge on the rest of the market. Check out 8 before the pump yesterday. 1 hour was high. I would have gotten into that trade. That's why I have issues with the stochastics. Yeah, but you know what? I'll show you, you know, watch. Ape USDT. KuCoin. He says before the pump, the 1 hour was high, right? But like, do you play VRVP? I mean, you bounce right off the VRVP and you went up to the next liquidity zone. And that was just all you had to do was use the VRVP there in the 15-minute chart. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. So like, or even, I get what you're saying. You're like, oh, I didn't want to get in. And honestly, to be honest, missing that's fine because that's a high risk trade. So to me, I want to miss that type of trade. You know, it's like you don't want to miss any trade, but a beginner says, see, this is what happens. Okay, trading with the SRSI, all right, is like driving a car that can only go like 75 miles an hour. And whenever you go places, you get home pretty safe because, you know, but trading without it and still hitting the trade is like driving a car that goes like 190 miles an hour, 200. And it's like, yes, like you made the trade, but you're just trading way high risk. So, okay, you know, the point of the story is trades that are low below this line have a high, if you back test them for the rest of your life and you go spend the hours I did, you'll find they have a way higher probability. So missing this trade is far better and continuing to trade my style with low stochastics. You get what I mean? You wouldn't know that over time though. So as a beginner, you would just be like, oh, I missed the trade because the stochastics didn't. Does everyone understand this? Because it's like not that hard. It's not easy to fully explain. And I'm not feeling that great. So I just want to know if anyone understands what I'm saying. You know what I mean? 3% a day makes a profitable trader. Yeah, so I just want to see if anyone gets it. Shout out to the $30 in chat revenue. You people are amazing. Thank you so much. That's very nice of you. Blessed. I'm very blessed on a weekly candle close too. So my whole point, but I get you. I understand. But usually my whole story is I teach this to my students. I teach, you know, if this is pinned, put the blue line, go to the 15-minute, and you should have a low 15-minute for entry. And there is your low 15-minute for entry right here. And I teach this. So I teach how to get around the anomalies. Also, it's kind of an inverted head and shoulder. On top of that, right? It's a Sammy cup and heady to the upside, right? And you can see that it makes a cup and handle and it blasts. So if you stick with the cup and handle, right? Bang. And did it have strong divergence on the 4 hour? That's like what you really wanted to go on if you had to go on anything. Slightly hidden bullish, not really. Let's see if the 1 hour had anything cooking. And again, not every trade should be perfect. Like if you have certain indicators, your indicators shouldn't pick up every single trade. They should pick up only the best types of trades. You know what I mean? You know, like if the way I trade is sensitive. So like that was a great trade, but, you know, falling wedge to the upside, bang, bang, bang. You know, by all means. Watching how smaller time frames are moving help a lot. Yeah. I'm a little lost, but yeah, you're doing great. It's me. Shout out to Justin. I love you. Say it one more time. I understand. I see it too. A lot lower risk with low RSI. I get it 100G. Thank you. Super chats, SRBP and CRV. SRBP. Super rare raw portion. Oh yeah, that newbie that came out. Now, I mean, it has very low liquidity. See how low these candles are? It is touching though. Look at that. I mean, tight moving averages, hitting everything right there. You have hidden bullish divergence. The RSI is strange though, you know. This does suggest that it's going to pump more, but to me, it's very high risk, and I wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole. It's just not. But what if it bangs for 95%? Again, that's completely up. I personally would never trade it. You know, again, I'm not a financial advisor, so whether I trade it or not is really none of your business, because it has nothing to do with what you'll do, right? That's completely up to you and how you feel about the trade. The 1 hour is oversold and wants to push to the upside. I bet it doesn't even really have a 4 hour. It does. The 4 hour is pinned. This is interesting, you know. Suggests that it could pump. It's actually a giant Sammy Cup and Handy, right? If you look at it, and I'm not trying to be funny because I just made another one, but Sammy Cup and Handy to the upside. You know, Marv, it was 1975. I just got out of my Cadillac DeVille. It was blue with a tan top. It, you know, I was drinking coffee that day. I had 2 coffees, 2 espressos that morning. I couldn't stop talking during the game. It was insane. You know, the other announcer kept looking at me. Eventually, he had to stomp on my foot and actually look at me straight and say, Marv, will you just shut up for the rest of the game? You know, after that, I got myself a Jolly Rancher and sucked on it. So I only had to say a few things for the rest of the third quarter and fourth quarter. But we got through the game, you know, and I never had an espresso again. That was it. Never again. The traders in the 99 are buzzing like crazy. I'm so grateful for you guys. Names I've never heard of. Shout out to Effin' But, man. I love you, man. Luna C running, man. You're funny. I love this crew, man. So there's SRBP. It could possibly go up for 95%. That is the measured move. If it does that, I'd be flabbergasted. The stochastics, the MACD, and all the indicators suggest that it can't. Everything is suggesting that it will, right? I don't think it will because you can't use your brain. You know, what you think has really nothing to do with what the charts will do. That's why I usually never say what I think. All right. Typhoon headed to Japan. Yikes. God bless Danny and your family. May you make it through the typhoon. So this SRBP, let's take a look at CRV, VeChain, and FLUX, and Wrapped ETH. Who wants Wrapped ETH? I'm not looking at Wrapped ETH. That's ridiculous. Let's take a look at CRV. Who wants WETH? I'm just joking around. Last time I did that, someone got their feelings really hurt. I was just like trying to have fun myself, but you never know. You got to be careful when you're out here in the publico. All right, so CRV had to hold this trend line. It broke it. That's kind of whack. This trend line was holding nicely, and when you broke it, look, you bearishly retested to the downside, and that's kind of whack. You know, that's called a bump and run. You could come all the way back down to this liquidity zone, and look, you broke this area here. So to me, I mean, whole market could dump with Bitcoin down here. This is really, like I'm showing you though, I do have my arrows down here already pointed. Do we double bottom down here? CRV did break to the downside and heading down lower and lower. Let's take a look at the daily. Extremely oversold, wanting to make a bit of a bounce there. 22-hour too as well. So this is a Bitcoin dumpage. You have to see this break back inside this. I wouldn't touch it until it breaks back above this diagonal support line, right? Once it does that, it could bump and run. You could save it. But I mean, right now, as long as it's above this, below this POC and below this support line, it's bearish. And you'd have to actually track it on a smaller time frame. CRV. And like right now, look what it's doing. It's in like a bit of a bear flag, right? A bearish rectangle. Likely for more downside, possibly back down to that 84 area. Not too fast, you know? So it also broke the psychological level of $1. So you got to keep that in your mind. VeChain. And everything follows Bitcoin. I mean, with this Bitcoin dump, everything is going to dump. That's just what it is. We're going to get more bearish and bearish and bearish. All right? Look, VeChain. Possible inverted head and shoulder. We looked at this on the daily. You're getting extremely low on a lot of these coins, right? But if you make a lower low than these lows, yikes, right? So could this be the right shoulder for VeChain? There's a chance. But to me, it's a little extended at this point, right? Like we had a chance. We broke that level. Now the cup and handle's a little down. Also, I mean, we had it. Everything was looking pretty nice. MACD was turning. We were oversold, but no go. The 3-day was kind of dumping on you. You see that? So I kept pointing that out too. 3 days were overbought. Now, the good thing is the 3 days getting oversold on a lot of time frames. Let me move this up here. That's small. The 3-day is very oversold in a lot of time frames. And it's giving me some confidence that we could get a bit of a bounce. It takes a few more days to play out in fruition. Like, it's going to be something no one really notices. That's the thing about making calls on bigger time frames. You'll say it, and like, by the time it happens, no one will even remember that you said it. They're like, you didn't make that call. And you're like, yeah, I did. Look at the 3-day chart, you know. But so can VeChain double bottom here? It's like, it has to. Like, if it doesn't, I mean, it's making newer lows. So it's attempting to hang on by a thread. But again, this is Bitcoin. If Bitcoin loses the level, so will VeChain. So you really don't need to worry about any coin. You need to worry about Bitcoin. Right now, it's all Bitcoin all the time. You know, a lot of people don't want to hear that. You have a few low cap gems on KuCoin that are going to rip, MX Global and things like that. But for the most part, you're going to have some trouble. Look at FLUX breaking the bean, breaking the dollar region. Sad business right here, coming back down. Can FLUX, you know, the day, even the 3 days coming down. The daily's very, very oversold for FLUX in this falling wedge. See, I'm like sweating right now. Like I think I have a fever. It's horrible, man. It's horrible. So the daily very oversold. Can FLUX bounce is the question. I'm gonna try to look at it differently here. But it definitely this took a dump too. You know, we nailed this trade here for FLUX. It popped, got resistance at the point of control. You know, the high volume node there broke back down. I mean, the next place is here. So like once you break one of these, you're likely to head back down to about 68 cents. It's just how it works, you know. It's how the VRVP works. And like you're almost breaking like a diagonal support for FLUX too. Look, see? It's just like what's called a bump and run, the same scenario here. And you're below it now. Daily is super oversold, but let's take a look. Yeah, I mean, every single time frame wants to bounce for FLUX. So in my mind, like, let's bounce back inside the pattern and break back up here. And same thing, Bitcoin has to dig its way out of this hole. Weekly, you know, the weekly candle close, worst night to trade of your life. I'll be honest. Sunday night into Monday morning. If you can avoid trading Sunday night into Monday morning, I would, unless you just love the volatility, you know. SuperChats, ETHW. What is ETHW? You know what I mean? Just made it up, banger. Just made it up, banger. How long for Bitcoin decision? Cannot sleep, Adam. All right, so, I mean, I'm still bullish on this 22-hour. Like, I haven't changed my tune. Everyone's like, oh, he said that yesterday, and look, we dumped. That's a macro idea. I have not changed my tune. However, I do not like that we're below this point of control. And until we get back up below this, we are bearish, and we could dump all the way down. And remember, this is a symmetrical triangle. So if it can break up, it can break down 50%. And usually it's a bearish triangle. In my opinion, symmetrical triangles are bearish. 90%, you know, they say 50-50 by the book. I say it's more like 80-20. It's rare that I see them break up. It's more likely that I see them break down. I am just a stochastics RSI trader, and I despite how many times it may have left a beginner down, if you stick with the stochastics RSI for a long time, I believe they will have your back so many more times than they didn't, that you will realize the worth. But again, it doesn't matter. You know, a trader finds worth for them, and it's up to the other person to find worth for that. You know, and you know what? Sometimes someone might leave a complete system that you use and find something different for them. It might work better for them. It may never make sense to you, but it doesn't matter. That's that person's style. You know what I mean? So if I meet someone and they're like, you know what, I like the RSI, but I don't use it anymore, I think it's great. I'm almost like interested. I'm like, well, that's just a different type of brain. Person likes to use something different, you know? However, I think it's an amazing indicator that you can use to stack wealth on a long term and to pull trades out on a swing time basis and a daily basis. So I think it could just be used in so many ways. So look, the low here is 14,000. The high is 26.5. This is what this triangle is going to do once we get tight in the zone. You know, I still believe it's likely Bitcoin comes back up in here and plays all these bears for a bear trap. Heads up, bet anything is possible. I don't know what's going to happen, and I'm not going to guarantee it. And you know what? I can speculate on this idea on the bigger time frame, but the smaller time frames will tell us what's going to happen. So I can be like, oh, I believe that's going to happen. So then we zoom in. You're like, well, will it? And you can be like, well, how are you going to figure this out, lifer? How are you so smart when the whole world is trying to find out what Bitcoin does? Well, we're pretty good here about doing this, and we're going to try to do it again tonight. So stick with us and see if what we think, or what we convey by the charts, is what could happen later on. So right off the bat, we got this like shoulder, head, and shoulder, kind of a double bottom, but it's also another look at ascending triangle. And they're bearish, specifically when you're coming into them. Like, I mean, they're 50-50 patterns, but they're bearish. That's 19,100 right off the bat. 7 minute wants to dump on you, okay? Now we're going to look at the liquidity on BOOKMAP to see what's going on with the order books. We want to see if there's more liquidity above us or below us. Where do the market makers want to take us, right? So now you can see, so we looked at the bigger time frames and we've discussed that. Now really it's all about right here, 19,005. This is your new resistance. Look, I mean, resistance. You can't get above it since 5:30. It's been almost 4 hours now. You cannot get above 19,000. You can't close candles above 19,500. All right. And this is an M pattern to me. If you can't hold this trend line, you're dumping down the length of the pole here, and then you may have some more trouble to the downside. Okay. 1 hour is extremely oversold at this point. So it's like, hey, I need a bounce at this. It's like I want a bounce. However, there's not a really strong divergence here yet. I guess you could call that one. You do have a lack of bearish momentum on the MACD, which is interesting. Despite the fall down, you don't have a fall through in volume, really, like strong sell volume that could really propel this even lower. Volume's actually starting to fall off for the sellers, which is interesting to me. Okay, and you're extremely oversold in the 1 hour. However, that 15 minute and that 7 in tandem, I mean, you'd have to get, to me, it has to be a short squeeze. So let's see if I see what's going, and I just don't see it right now. I see more lows to 19,100, 19,300 area. Again, remember that weekly support that I talked about? 19,300. You'd be surprised how you can defend an area. You can get very close to an area, and as long as you don't go below it, So again, that's something that I'm looking at. Can we defend the area? Can we hold the zone? All right. And that's what we're looking at right now. The point of the story is I'm bearish right now for Bitcoin down to 19,100 area. Like, if I have to make a call, bear city. Right? Based on the 15 and the 7 minute time frame. However, we could double bottom right there. So 19,300 is like a huge deal for me. And I showed you why, the weekly candles. All right? The weekly candles. We've already done a lot on the channel tonight. More than most channels do, and we've only been on for about an hour. You got to give us some love. You got to send that like up. Let's get those likes all the way to the 600 people watching, baby. Let's do it. Shout out to everybody here who's getting that education. You could be sitting watching a mindless football game. You could be sitting watching Netflix. You're here with me going over support and resistance, talking about liquidity, talking about BOOKMAP. And everyone, if you want BOOKMAP, if you like what I'm doing here with BOOKMAP, there are links in the description below. They do. I have a sponsorship with them. I'm associated with affiliation with them. And you can get a discount that you can't get anywhere else with Global and Global Plus. So check it down below. I have so many different things. I use 3 commas. I like trading with KuCoin. And join my trading group if you really want to get an education. It's $3 a day to have my brain every single day. I'm going to give you updates, things like you saw today, this week, or on the morning. You get updates like that all throughout the week. So, yeah. I just love to see you in there. I'd love to see people change their lives. Read the testimonials. You'll know you're in the right place. I see so many old testimonials day after day that just really, they changed my life. Sammy's, I don't trade that often due to my schedule and other things going on in my life. I just want to say thank you because I recharted a possible trade I saw in the group. I set my take profit below a line of major resistance, and lo and behold, as I slept, I hit 30% gains, only because of the education you provide here in the group, as well as your one-on-one teaching, Sam. I was able to draw out and pinpoint where to enter, as well as where to exit precisely. Thank you so much for everything you do. You're 1 in a million, brother. Simply amazing. Thank you, Rodney. I appreciate that. I devoted my life to this marketplace to provide freedom for my wife and kids. I can watch all the football I want when they are free. Hey, exactly. I like what you just said. We love your show. Yeah, I want to look as good as Sam when I'm sick. What's in those lemons? Gina Bombina. In my office at Nestle Purina trading derivatives. I love this guy, Nestle Purina. He's selling dog food, man. I love it. I love it. I love it. Let's take a look at Adam 3S here. Adam 3S. And can I pick a gem when I'm down and out? Can Sammy still pick a gem when he's down and out? The story of the cryptolifer on Netflix tonight. Can the lifer make it through another night of pain? Can lifer make it through the trolls that continually try to destroy his life every single night? Well, there's a short for Adam 3S to the upside. That's 22% gains out of a little flag etho, right? Came back down for possibly more here, bouncing. But again, I heed trading on Sunday night into Monday morning. The volatility is just absolutely bananas, and it's unsafe. It's unsafe out here, in my humble opinion. It is. It is. You see it. You see the craziness. You've seen the carnage on a Sunday night into Monday. And if you haven't, get ready, because it's absolutely absurd. Okay? It's absolutely absurd. What is Bitcoin? Bitcoin is a little coin that you can add to your keychain that we all like to just wear. It's like a little, like, it's kind of like a Pokemon thing, you know? That's it. That's all it is. Thank you for asking, though. That's a super awesome question. Sam, I enjoyed that 3 crypto terms you put out a day ago. Not going to lie, I do struggle with a lot of crypto vocabulary. I don't know anyone in crypto to talk with. Shout out to GreyDog77. I really like that you said that. We're going to keep putting out more information like that. You know, my team even said that they thought that was super informational. And they have 90 edits like that they said that they can make, and it's going to be awesome. That 5-minute hard call banged on them. I didn't get in because I was leaving to work, but I give you props for the call. Shout out to the Wicked Trader, man. I appreciate that. Thank you. No, that call was gold. That was one of the best calls I ever made in my life. No lie, like, because it was so clean. In and out, like, that much in that fast a time, like, beautiful. It was a beautiful thing over here. So, look, I mean, this is your trend line. You're overbought in the 4-hour. Not guaranteed, but you're likely to come back down here before this can pump again, right? I mean, near got pounded, so you think we may get a bounce back to the upside. It's like, you know, you trade against your stomach. You know, your stomach feels sick. You're at the bottom of the trend, then you got to trade up, right? So this is likely to pump. And you got what's called Class C bullish divergence. I mean, this is swinging down, not half as sharp as that. You know, you got yourself a bit of a chance. You will have resistance when you get to this zone right here, for sure. Right? And you may struggle there because of, you know, just because of what's happening. Again, I'm not a financial advisor. Nothing I say and do should be taken as financial advice. Look at the fine print here. This is for entertainment purposes only and just to kind of have fun and discuss. Like he said, a lot of people in his life aren't here to talk about crypto. Well, I'm here every single day where you can discuss crypto. Send in a super chat, dive into the show, let the show go your way. For less than $2 a dollar, send in, you know, your piece that can be talked about on the show. Get your piece of, you know, get your piece of the screen and become part of what we talk about every single day here, you know. So, a super chat just because, Sammy, I love you, homie. Shout out to the Crypto Clan for the 333. Thank you so much, man. Much respect to you and much respect. See, that's how you know I'm off. Much respect, man. Much respect to you, bro. Much respect to you and yours, brother. Thank you so much for coming on in. Thank you for the 333. That's much. I love 333s. You know that. And I'm a softie for that. Thank you so much. $43.32 in chat revenue. You people are unbelievable. God bless each and every one of you. Thank you. Thank you. You know, it's not easy out here streaming every single day of the week, baby. Right? So I appreciate it. I even said that, and I was like, you don't stream every day. And I was like, yeah, you do, Sam. I was like, wow, I thought that was just a figure of speech. But this guy, you know, he's out here every single day over here. Streaming his face off. Streaming till his lips fall off. This guy. I never seen a guy stream so much. Last time I seen a guy stream like that, he was in a stream. He was actually in a stream. Yeah, he was up in Poughkeepsie. He was in a stream in the mountains. So look at the... I mean, the 15-minute is all we got to worry about here, right? One more downside. I mean, like near 3L looks like it's going to pump. Again, anything is possible, but the 1 hour is oversold. I mean, every single time frame for this puppy looks ready to go. I'd be surprised if we can't juice some juice out of the juicy juice. You know what I'm saying over here? So I'm looking at this. There's always opportunity in the market too, everybody, no matter what. There's always opportunity in the market. You just got to be a shark. A shark that's always looking for blood will always find the prey, right? So you just got to be looking. You got to be looking through the markets for the hot piece. There's always a hot piece of meat out there that you can sink your teeth into over here. So look, falling wedge. And this is very high risk. All right. And I'm not even saying I enter it tonight. I'll watch it maybe into tomorrow. But, I mean, long-term, it has a bigger long-term play here. ETHW, second chance. I don't know what that is, and I ain't touching it over here. I don't know what ETHW is over here. Shout out to East Jordan. Thank you so much for the super chats. I appreciate you, though. Gina Bombina. Gina, me and my girl Gina, we went out for some pasta, all right? It was Wednesday night. You know, she wanted the ravioli. I wanted the lasagna. We always get into it every single time. You know, so I said, listen. You know, because it's like this thing, this buffet thing. They make you order one. I said, babe, why can't you just eat lasagna tonight? She said, I'm going to have the ravioli. It doesn't matter. I said, baby, why can't we just have the lasagna? We can split it. You can have ravioli next week. They're the same thing, basically. I just like the, you know, the mascarpone over here. ETHW is the hard fork from ETH. It's the only chain. All right, I'll take a look. I'll take a look. I'm messing around. I'm just messing around. But, I mean, there's always opportunity. And we just keep pushing. That's another thing. We keep moving. We don't wait. We don't cry. We don't cry over spilt milk. We just keep it moving. You know? You could cry all you want, but we just keep it moving. ETHW. Mnet. Funny, Mnet was on my radar. It's like I smelled on it. And it was like, bang. Look at this nasty move. Disgusting over here. Gods Unchained had a nice move to the upside. It's actually back in a flag here. Could it continue? Got lack of bearish momentum on the 1 hour time frame. It seems to be breaking out to the upside. High risk again on a Sunday night. 4 hours spent coming back down and away. So even though the 1 hour looks good, to me it's a scale. Yeah, and the 15 minutes high already tells me that it's probably going to come back down first. That'd be a very risky scalp on the 1 hour time frame, and it may play out, but it would be very risky. That's, you know. Comb was hot, came back down, and look, it's actually in a fib. Pretty hot little fibby. Came back down to the 786 that fast. That's interesting. Back in a falling wedge. Does Comb want to get busy again? 1 hour time frame. You want to look at the daily, really. Daily's got to cook. Like, I wouldn't touch it till the daily comes on down. See, don't get caught up on high daily charts, in my humble opinion. Even if it looks like they're going to pump, even if you feel like you missed out, all you did was miss out on just some real high risky business. You know, remember Pastel? We took it for massive gains. What looked just like Pastel? Was it FRR? Front row? Was it FRA? Yeah, it was FRR, right? Yeah, and then we have the actual, funny I remember this stuff even when my head's pounding. But look at this. I'm watching this very closely. All right, so just reminder, when this thing gets possibly lit to the upside. And these take a long time. It's, you know, and nothing may ever happen. Like, it's completely up to you. Man, this looks so similar to that last pot we just had. Like, they are just, my goodness. And what is this? This is Pastel that we made massive gains on. And this is like, these are big time frames. This is like teaching people how to use the daily time frame. You know, you want to watch this. You want to kind of observe this, and then you do this stuff on your own completely, right? You look at daily time frames. You look at oversold regions. You begin to kind of understand how this market works, the ebb and flow of the market. I'm attempting to teach you the way. Now, I love this project. Most projects I wouldn't touch with a 10-foot pole. I really like this project, Wild. And to see it at 22 cents to me is exciting. I believe the metaverse will come back, and I believe this is going to be a big project. Let me talk about it for a second. They didn't pay me. I don't know anything about them and the team, but I tend to have a pretty good feeling about certain things. And to me, about my fundamental analysis, I do use some intuition when it comes to fundamentals. And this is a new dimension of reality. A Wilder World is an immersive 5D metaverse built on Ethereum, Unreal Engine, and Zero. I mean, to me, if anything's going to hit, this is going to hit hard. They got cribs, wheels, kicks, lands, guild, crafts, and beasts. They got a metaverse market. They're ready to go. They're immersed. They're awesome. I'm excited. They got a $21 million market cap, fully diluted to 112. Only a $500 million supply, 500 billion supply, right? 500 million supply. That's awesome, right? Circulating supply, 994 million. 19% of the circulating supply is out. I like what I'm seeing here. It's got an Ethereum contract. I wish it had more than that. However, it's on a lot of awesome, it's on KuCoin, Huobi Global Gate, Uniswap, BitFNX. Wild. I could see it getting onto Binance. Hasn't even got big listings yet, and I believe it will in the future. So I just like Wild. I believe it's going to be huge, and it's something that if any project makes it through the next 4 to 3 years into the metaverse land, Wild's something I'm looking at. And if it goes down to 10, 5 cents, I'm definitely going to be accumulating. So Wild is a coin that has been on my radar. And again, I'm not a financial advisor. You do whatever makes you happy. Wild, possible double bottom here for Wild to the upside. Look at that daily. A lot of coins attempting to bottom here. Wild. Imagine Wild back at 62 cents. This happened just a few months back. No one was paying attention. Bang. And that's what happens. Everyone's screaming that we're dumping even lower, and we got our move. This also looks identical. I have to be honest. Look, take a look at this. And I'm not saying just because it looks identical, it's going to happen. It's just more fun than anything else. But, I mean, that's the exact same pattern. You see them? I mean, they're identical. Like, there's your little dump. There's a little... So, and then, boom, we were gone. So, Wild's looking good to me on the daily time frame. I like what I'm seeing for Wild. It's above, that last resort. Wild. To me, this is something I'm willing to get into, and if it dumps, I'd put a G in here, and if it dumps, I'd hold it for 2 years. So, I'd be okay, that's a lot of coins I wouldn't. I'd put a stop loss, and I'd walk away. Wild is something that if the trade didn't even go well, I'd be like, there's 1,000 in Wild that I can forget about for the next 2-3 years. Sometimes it's great to get locked in a position of, if you like, for me personally, if I like the project, because that money would have went somewhere else, and then now I'm in something that I've done my research, that I believe in, that I have conviction. So Wild is something that's been on my radar for a while. I really like it. Again, you can do whatever you want. I'm not, I just, it is. And I don't know why I'm stuck on it. I pick coins at certain times. They just they get in my head, and Phantom was one of them. I banged on them. Usually the coins pay me pretty well. So a lot of people are trying to say that Cardano has bottomed. Did Cardano bottom? This is an interesting topic, interesting concept. I'm going to tackle it right now. Let's take a look at Cardano on the monthly chart. All right. I mean, the monthly does suggest that we did bottom for Cardano when I look at the big scale of things. Look how low we are, and we're looping and saying, hey, that's going to be your low for Cardano. We also are retesting the previous monthly high right there. See this? Interesting. Which was about 39. We came back and hit that a few times. Is Cardano, that, again, just like Bitcoin, though, Bitcoin would have to hold the zone. So to me, if Cardano's bottoming, then so is Bitcoin. I don't see how Cardano couldn't bottom. And so if Bitcoin dumps back to that area, you're going to see a 14 cent Cardano, which is pretty crazy, right? To be able to get Cardano back at 14 cents yet again. Weekly suggests that you're getting very overbought on the weekly, and you didn't make a previous high, just like Bitcoin. Possible shoulder, head, and a shoulder there too. When you just look arbitrarily at this, it doesn't look amazing. You're below 200-day moving averages. The 21 just crossed. Daily saying, hey, we need some relief rally of a bounce. I'm attempting a higher low, low, high, higher low. Can we put in a higher high? So you see that? I mean, you play ball with that idea there. And that's what you got kind of this going. Do you bounce back up, and can you break out of this to the upside and get above this resistance? Bang, right? Above the POC. That's going to be 46, 47 cents is a big deal for Cardano. So you want to see Cardano. If you see Cardano 49, 50, 49 to 51 cents, that means you got above the POC. That's an indication that there's more likely, you know, some more to come. And if you get above a POC, you can really start to travel to some other regions. So again, I see this as in a bigger flag that is unhealthy compared to Bitcoin. So if the daily pumps, that's great. But if all we do is come up here and hit this top trend line, or, you know, it's like, we're just going to roll over. So this daily is going to tell us a lot. A lot. Let's move on to ES1. ES1, which is you know, the mini futures for the S&P. And again, we've been talking about this before, and we'll talk about it again. And that's why I like having my work waiting for us, right? We've had this waiting since Friday afternoon. Haven't had to touch it, or since Friday morning of the daily show, right? Haven't had to touch it since. So the daily, we're expecting a bounce on the daily. Look how low it is. So I know it's carnage. Everyone's in fear. You know, we bake in. We go to 0.75 and we bake it in. You know, if they come out with 0.75, that's baked in. And what do I mean by that? Well, that's the data, the Fed, because the Fed's going to come out and they're going to raise rates yet again, right? If they raise to 1, the market's going to take a beat down. It's going to be a bit of a shock there. If they stay at 0.75, I believe we bake it in. And what does baked in mean? Baked in means the market already kind of foresee it. We already got the fear and the sell-off from that news, and everyone's dealt with the news. Because when everyone knows that news now for so long, listen, we got the news, we don't. We got the news, don't. We know how to deal with this news now. Who here is less in fear about the news? Like, after all the times we've gone through it, don't you feel a little? I mean, it's still scary. Like, oh, it's, you know, day to day, we have to deal with the Fed again. It's going to be one of those big Fed days. But who else is just like, you know what? We've dealt with it before. We kind of know what's going on. Are we priced in? You know what I'm saying? So, are we priced in? So, look, I mean, this daily is attempting a curve here in a move with lack of bearish momentum. Can we bounce back to the upside? The daily and the 22-hour are both screaming that these time frames can get us back above the zone. Okay? 4 hours also pushing up with momentum. And look, we're doing pretty good. We're in this. We're doing good so far. And we have momentum. 1 hour is not in our favor. So we're going to need a short squeeze right when the morning opens, like, you know, or something sideways. This is not no gets. 15 minutes going to have to give us a pump soon. And you have to remember, this front runs Bitcoin. This starts to pump. Bitcoin's going to be all right. So, like, we need this to play out. This ascending triangle desperately needs to play out. 39.45. All right. We get this. 1 hour can cool off. 4 hour in the daily, and everything else can kind of work its magic. Super important. I would only allow one. I would allow a double bottom at the. That's it. That's all. The last thing we break this. I mean, that's bearish, and I'd have to change my tune. I would have to change my tune. I do. Look, I had this formed here, and this is a flag with a measured move down to 38.05. We went all the way back down so far to 38.53. All right. Any liquidations happening right now? Just one small one. The leverage traders are sitting pretty right now. For a weekly close, lackluster, right? Almost no liquidity. I shouldn't say that, though. The second I say that, right? People will be screaming. It will be like, oh, don't say it, Sammy, don't. You know, but I mean, it is what it is. All right. ES1 on the watch list. Next 48 hours going to be crazy. It is. It's going to be up and down. And honestly, you'd be smart not to trade, just to watch the market and just kind of see what happens and not to get yourself immersed. You saw the money I sent East Jordan after you said no. I said my reasoning. You saw the money I sent at East Jordan. I'm trying to see what he said here. Thank you, the viral videos. Appreciate you, man. I'm at ETHW Lifer. Thank you, brother. A super chat just because I love you, Sammy. Thank you for saying that. So that's S&P futures. And it is looking like we're going to get a bit of a bounce here on the 15. But it's like we haven't been able to get up. I mean, it's bearish. I don't want to be like I'm bull. I'm not saying because I put this out in the measured move. I'm not saying we're guaranteed to go up there. I'm just showing you. It's another thing. When I show a measured move, I want to be clear. Unless I'm showing a chart, like, you know, And even when I do show a chart, it doesn't mean we're going there for sure. It means that's where we should go. But take profits along the way up. Do whatever you got to do. Like, find your own style, because never wait for a measured move all the way, in my humble opinion. You know, in a bull market, bang on them. But never just wait. You know what I'm saying? In my humble opinion. So anything is possible. Okay. This has been hot on the radar, Phoenix. Another thing that we do here at this channel, which is awesome, or in the trading group, I should say, is we go over token metrics. Ian's smart dude with a lot of special sauce, and this has been on the radar too. And this 4 hour is looking pretty nice. If anything's gonna pop, I'm telling you right now, my group's gonna find it. If there's slim pickings, then we're like, dude, picture traders like packs of lions looking for meat. And I'm out here every single day. I attract the most vicious lions. I attract people that want it the most. Other trading groups attract like every day, whatever, right? We attract lifers that want to tear it up. When they watch a guy show up every single day and they get excited, when they see that, when they get amped up, when they're like, you know what, I want to be a part of that gang, you know how much stronger we become every day? Because our energy is strong, we attract strong people, and as we attract more and more strong people, the group just continues to grow. So if I was going to be a part of any group, specifically in the bear market, where there may be slim pickings, I would be one of the lifers, because we're vicious with it. And look at, I mean, what other group on a Sunday of low liquidity, a low liquidity Sunday and Saturday, right? No, it's funny to me, but a low liquidity Sunday and Saturday is pulling out, 15% on Atom 3L, 10% on Divi on a beautiful flag, right? Sweating it to the oldies with a beautiful pump, 52%. And then, like, who could forget the hard call for 30% for hard for 30%, 12 to 1 o'clock hitting hard. And again, I know we harp on our gains, but it's fun to do because I work so hard, and that's the results of hard work. So, it's like a guy who's a florist, and he's like, he does hardwood floors, and he's like, look at how beautiful these hardwood floors that I just did. They're gorgeous. I mean, they shine. You can see your face in them. Look at the beautiful way I did it. Look at the way I finished it. Look at the way I did it. So, I mean, Phoenix, 15-minute is sloppy, right? I get it. But every other time frame looking pretty nice to me. This thing could be a go-go. If anything is a go-go, there's a chance. It could also dump to the downside with Bitcoin and go right to zero. Anything is possible. Always be careful. But Phoenix is on my radar, all right? I appreciate and respect your hustle. Thank you. Shout out to Crypto Gary, 1022. You're the man, dude. I appreciate and respect you with love. And you know what? Live in love, everybody. Love is the strongest frequency that you can have. And it's on a Sunday night. What else do we have, baby? What else do we have but love? Seriously. And I know I got my team. I go to sleep tonight. My man Rainier's up in South Africa banging on them. My other elite traders, Kevin. I got my whole team. I got Danny. I got everybody here watching the market, doing liquidity, you name it. And we have more elite traders every day jumping into the fold. Thank you so much for the super chats that are coming in. Let's just give some screenshots to the super chat people. Crypto Gary 1022 says, Lifer, I appreciate and respect your hustle. Thank you, brother. Ergo TA, please. Ooh, Ergo. That actually makes me excited. Thank you for putting Ergo on the radar from RC for the $5 super chat. Thank you so much for the super chats, everybody. $57 in chat revenue. You people are unbelievable. I respect and love every single one of you that comes here. I respect and love everyone that doesn't come here too, even if you're just not able to make it. But I love everyone on this earth that God made. I appreciate each and every one of you, and we should have a beautiful life together for the next, until I'm gone. Hopefully I'll live at least 80 years. You know what I'm saying? So 41 more quick ones. They're going to go back faster than we ever realized, but hey, I won't be morbid. Did you just see that? If you're not instantly getting alerts, you are doing it wrong. Big Wig Energy, my man. Sounds like a shill to me. Sub, man, I love you. Sub. Wish I had cold BBQ ribs left in the fridge, but too much volume this weekend. Interesting. Too much volume on the cold BBQ. Okay, I reloaded. I always want to see what I look like when I'm reading. That one's not bad, right? When I'm looking up. I'm trying to think where the best place is. Dude, this looks hot to me, honestly. This looks hot to me. Oversold on multiple time frames. And it's been a pick for token metrics. I'm so nice. I should keep all this to myself and only to the traders in the trading group. But, you know, I'm a nice guy and I want you to learn. So I want you to understand what this coin is, find out what it is, and do your own deep dives. PHNX, baby. Getting tight in the zone. Getting super tight. Tighter than it ever could get. You know what I mean? So, and you know what happens when it gets tight. It gets explosive. A big move is coming. You know? So, that's just how it is. Just anything in life that you back inside to a tight corner is eventually going to just, you know, it's going to want to push its way out. That's why price action gets tight like it does. All right. CIRUS has been on my radar. Did it really just continue to dump? Did it really never do anything? What a fall off. What a whack. I mean, come on. Look at this. Like you're on the daily, CIRUS. We've been watching you now for days. Look at this, for days. You got hidden bullish, CIRUS. Eventually that's going to play out, in my humble opinion. You're taking your sweet time though, huh? You're trying to make a fool of me, huh? All right. All right. Well, it's still on my radar, and it's still about to come to the golden pocket, and it may have to come all the way down to the sweet spot before it's ready again. But, wow. I've been tracking this coin for days now, and just slowly bleeding down. But it's oversold in that daily, wants to make a move, and I don't mind. I'm not embarrassed to bring it up. Let's take a look at ERGO. ERG. And honestly, we kind of got our money's worth out of this coin. It may be time to kind of head south on it, you know what I mean? But we'll take a look. We'll take a look. Okay, so it started making this like upper channel that you can see it clearly broke down from right now. So that's the first thing. Nasty red candle to the downside. It got rejected by this height. Look, resistance. So it double topped right there for sure. Daily's oversold. Can we get some type of movement? Can we see something? Can we make something out of this? What we got is this, and we broke to the downside. This has to break back in my humble opinion, to remain bullish. So, like, come back inside this pattern, stay inside the flag, and then we got a chance of breaking out of the flag back to the upside. But it's got to break back inside the flag, in my humble opinion. You got support. You got some resistance here. Oh, I see one bigger idea here. What if you have this going? I mean, this is a bit of a stretch, though. And you're going to wiggle your way into here. You see? Before you try to break out of an ascending triangle. I mean, this would be amazing. I can't even believe I saw this right now. Like, this is absurd. Like, most people would never be able to, like, whatever. I shouldn't even talk like that. Like, I'm lucky that God gave me this type of projection, and then I'm able to see things. And again, it could be completely nonsense. But the idea is, though, I build so many of these, a few of them really do play out over time. And when they do, you gain an edge because so many people didn't see it. And when you see things other people don't see, you kind of can take their money. You know what I mean? It's like having invisible goggles. Like, if they can't see you and you can see them, then, especially in trading, you're going to have a bit of an edge. So I'd like to see us break back inside this pattern. I'd like to see us break back up in here. V-shaped recovery back up in there, baby. We got to get a bounce. You know, 15 minutes suggests that we go lower. So when I look at this is why you go small ball and look at Bitcoin. I mean, that's a bit of a flag there. That has a measured move. And that's going to, it looks like it's going to continue lower to 280, possibly. I'm not a fan right now of ERG until it gives me some more stability. You know, that's just how it is. And it gets bad right before it gets worse. You have to remember that. So if you can't handle the tough times, then you can't handle counting the big money either. So it's going to be up before it goes down, baby. That's just how it works. UOS. We had UOS in this tight channel to go to the upside. Look, it banged on them right above the POC and went up 37% gains for UOS. Look, this is similar to kind of what we're looking at for what we just talked about. So now let's take a UOS on the bigger time frame, like the daily, and it is getting oversold. It is touching the 21-day moving average, right? It has reset pretty nicely. You can pull a mini fib, which is just like from this wick to this wick, which is all you really need. And you can see you're in the golden pocket on the daily time frame. This is something that I really like. This is a project that I stand behind and I believe in. Something that I would hold actually long term. And I normally don't say that either. Today I said it twice with UOS and Wild. Two coins that I've researched, I've watched kind of stand the test of time. Both metaverse coins with both different ideas can kind of do different things, create a buzz. All right. So like UOS had this beautiful channel. Now it's retesting the top bend of that channel. Can it break to the upside off of this Fibonacci zone? UOS, highly likely it could dump to the downside at any given moment in time. You have to understand this. These are simple probabilities that I'm looking at. Let's go and zoom into that 22-hour wants to bang on you. 4-hour, attempting to bend, and we're getting tight with the moving averages. 200-day attempting to touch price action. 21 also tight with the moving averages. About to do a double bottom in there. Almost a bit of a cup and handle if we zoom in. Not perfect though, pretty messy. 15-minute is also low. I mean, this is on my radar for a possible move. Again, I hate to even post on a Sunday night into Monday because I always say that I don't like to trade on these nights. But this is looking interesting to me. 4-hour could send you even lower and we could bounce to the lower time frames, but almost every time frame is oversold. Like 15, almost every single time frame. We got a fib golden pocket. Okay, so here's fib, 36.3%. I was just telling my wife how much I love her. That was all. In case you wanted to hear. That was all I was doing. Fib golden pocket, falling wedge, UOS, and retesting previous resistance, right? It's doing a lot of cool stuff. I like the project too. And I think it was on token metrics as well. I believe it was. I could revisit for us and take a look. And it's oversold in the daily. And the 20. I like that 22-hour daily combo. It's like, I know they're close, but I want the 1 hour to flip the 4 hour. That's what I'm looking at for this. High risk on a Sunday night. All right. You never know what's going to happen. That's why you got to keep your ring in the game, baby. Nord bang to the downside. OPUL bang did not give us any love. Look at that. Stop loss, 21%. No love. No love, baby. No love. Look, it was low on the 4 hour, ready to go, too. You got nothing. Didn't get the follow-up volume. And that's why you just play support or resistance. Technically, this was a deposit. This was a good trade because from where we got in, right? From where we got in, if you look at it, it pumped, 12%, and what you do is you wait for it to pump back up. It gets high on the stochastics from entry. And if the stochastics come above the dotted line and that's all you get, that's all you get. You don't keep going for measure moves. And that's why most stochastics are a side trader, and that's why I always worry. You don't only have to use them for entry as much as exit. I think, because they can just show you where that momentum is cooked. And if you try to force momentum, look at this Blocktopia, right? Possible gains. Look, it did make like 3%, nothing really. But then, look, this is just continuing. These coins from the metaverse that were amazing are making new lows now, which is insane. Like nobody wants this thing. It got completely demolished. I'm amazed by that. Absolutely amazed by that. Trade looks nice to me. Look at this. Of all the trades out there, look at this trade. And we put this out recently. Wait for it to come to the trend line with a bit of a move here. Trade could pop for you. All right, oversold on that 4 hour. Probably got the 22 hour on that daily cooking on you. It does. You look at your 1 hour time frame, it's curving. I look at my 15-minute, and it's ready to rock. I mean, if any coin could pop tonight, trade. Only thing is that high volatility for Bitcoin could just demolish anything. But look at this coin. I mean, and we've played this before for massive gains. Like this thing, it won't be the first time that I've seen it do some damage. So trade on the radar. And it's funny that it's called trade, right? Oversold on 15-minute, 1 hour, 4 hour, 22, and the daily. Still high risk, which is sad, you know. In a bullish, in these bearish times. Formation 5. Let's take a look here, which actually did pump out of this. Look, went lower than hit that 706 before the pump. You can just see it's still holding an upward trend is why I'm looking at it. You see this? Formation 5. It's on my radar. No guarantees. It's just on my radar. I start setting alerts around the way for things that I'm looking at. And then new coins that come out on KuCoin too are interesting. I'm going to look at, oops, something happened here. We got a frozen screen. We'll just get rid of you. Oh, okay, we're back. I want to attempt to look at the Dow futures right now and see what they're doing. And I also want to look at the crypto fear and greed index for the day. 21, that's good. We want more fear. That's nice. When it gets into the shaded area, I mean, those are good prices. Better than normal. Sam, I love you so much, man. Those shout outs this week made me cry tears of pure happiness. You're the only true role model I've ever had, man. Thank you. Shout out to Psychedelic Catfish. Well, you know what, man? You make me feel like a role model. And because you look up to me, then I look up even more to God for the strength to help me help you. So, hey, man, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. May God bless you, man. Thank you so much for coming on. Thank you so much for supporting me. I appreciate it. I know everyone we're all struggling here through a bear market. For you to throw 5 beans of your hard-earned money at me during a live means just, it's so honorable and it's a blessing. So shout out to the Psychedelic Catfish, everybody. He's on his way to becoming the man he wants to be. I'm super proud of what he's doing. And honestly, just remember, the devil can come at any time, anywhere. We must stay vigilant at all times, my friend. But keep doing what you're doing, and just, build up your strength and continue to grind, and you're going to be in a great place 4 or 5 years from now. I mean, you're already in a great place, but you're going to solidify your legacy and who you are in this world, man. So God bless you. A super chat just because, Sammy, we love you, homie. Shout out to the Crypto Clan. Thank you. And I just want to see if I'm missing anything here that I can shout out. Shout out to all my Blue Crew, CNC Ireland, East Jordan, Gina Bombina, Gregory the Sniper, everyone here that jumped on into the live, Psychedelic Catfish, my man. And everyone here, really here, trying to make the crew the best that it can. I appreciate each and every one of you. DJ Porter Rock in the house, right? Man, East Jordan yet again. I love you, brother. Thank you for everything. Handling the super chats, too. We got to look at KASPA, which is a super chat I may have missed here. Let's take a look. Bitcoin holding 19,400. 1 hour suggests that we will get a bounce. I said this before, but last time we were this low, we did. I mean, we got creamed. Can we get the bounce to the upside? Can the 4 hour, which got absolutely demolished, but honestly, for a 4 hour dump, usually it's a lot worse than that. I mean, that was a rising wedge. Rising wedges break down 68% of the time, and that's all you had to do is play a rising wedge with high stochastics. Like, pretty simple, right? High stochastics in the 4 hour, rising wedge. Couldn't get above the previous high, dump. We fell through the POC. We hit the bottom triangle. Yeah, we lose this triangle. We wake up to 18,700. I'm just pointing that out. That's our next stop. And then remember, we lose weekly support at 19,003, which is like a huge deal. So can we hold the line? Only time will tell. Let's take a look at the 7 minute. It will tell us really what may or may not occur tonight. I mean, we got this brewing, and this is an ugly pattern, right? It's not like it's a beautiful reversal pattern. And that could even start our dump to the downside. So you'll know tonight what will happen is We'll either begin to bearishly retest this and dump as the 7-minute continues to dump here, or we'll break back to the upside, not get above the zone, and begin to dump here on the 7. And the 7-minute will be a really good time frame to figure out where we're going tonight. You know, if you see the 7-minute spark up and fight, and somehow, in some crazy way get back above 19,008, but like again, like if you don't see Bitcoin close a candle, now you have heavy resistance at 19,500. So Bitcoin must take back 19,005 to remain bullish. That's hands down. So there's your Bitcoin update for the night. Likely we wake up, sad to say, probably at 18,700. I hope we don't, but it seems more likely lack of bearish momentum. But the 1 hour does want to pop. The 4 hour is low. You know what I'm saying? So anything could happen. I just want to make that clear. Anything could happen. I'm playing the probability of the 22 hour and some type of bear trap here, and we're going to end up here. But, I'm just speculating that for now, and, I'll change my tune if certain things change. I'm watching so many things that I can flip bearish in a heartbeat if a certain area doesn't hold. Because I know how important that area is. Like at the back of my mind, I see 19,300 miss. We start, I know that's weekly support that's falling, and then it's 18,700. It's very, very likely. So the more you know about the charts, the faster you can make a move. I want to teach you how to get there. And if you're not there, then it looks confusing. So what a more advanced trader will do will be something that you're like, wait. Like he said 2 things and I don't get it. Well, you have to be ready for both things if you want to be a successful trader. It just is what it is, So if you're in it to win it, you're watching the 7-minute time frame tonight inside this little flag to see what it can do. And that's Bitcoin in a nutshell. If you get back above 19,005, so be it. You may be able to have a chance. If you see candles closing below it on the 1 hour and the 4 hour, you're likely to head down at least to 19,260 and then to my lower area of liquidity at 18,700. So that's your Bitcoin update, everybody. That's how I would play Bitcoin in a nutshell. And it's super important that we hold this flag, because if we do, we hold the bigger triangle of the trend that I'm talking about, that I've been going over for days. All right. Can the symmetrical triangle hold? Can we get tight for Bitcoin? Would it be awesome that we do? It would just create suspense, right? Because then for the next few days, we could be like, is Bitcoin going to go up or down? Big move coming. And, it'd just be fun for the next couple days. It would be some good clickbait, So anyway, I'm just joking around, but you know what I mean? It would be some good entertainment. I don't use clickbait, but it would be some good entertainment. It would be fun. People would be interested to see, well, what will happen, So going over that. Anyway, I'm not going to over-post Sunday night into Monday. My whole group knows that. I've seen a few gems that are worth looking at. Everything else, I think we should kind of hold back on and take a break. If I see anything else throughout the night, I will post it to the trading group. Everyone, thank you so much for being here. I'm going to cut it a little early at 9:43. Not feeling good. I feel a good night of sleep would be the best. Let's take a look at KASPA. As someone is asking about KASPA, which I don't even know what it is. Let's take a look. CAS. It's on Trade Ogre. I don't know, man. I can't even find the market cap. I'm going to pass right now on this. Beyond the Block is the fastest open source decentralized fully scalable layer 1 in the world. The world's first blockchain DAG, decentralized aggregate, right? Graph, digital ledger enabling parallel blocks and instant transaction confirmation, built on a robust proof of work engine with rapid single speed, built by industry pioneers, led by the people. I mean, that's what they say. How can I trust all that? It sounds good, but I got to do more research, read white papers, find out who's doing this, have my crew look at it. KASPA News. Trade Ogre, it's really just coming out. Maybe, look, MEX Global, though. It's on MEX. It's on MEX, which is interesting. CAS. Okay. I'll do a deep dive on this. I'll look at it closer. Thank you for putting it on the radar. I just don't want to really go far into it until I know a little bit more, but I appreciate this. This actually, you know what? We may be sitting on a gem. You never know. Get well, sir. Thank you so much for sharing your knowledge. God bless you and your family, and see you tomorrow. Sam, watch out for ARBA and their utility token CRPX. They're going to make a first decentralized bank in the USA soon. That's really cool. That's awesome. SuperChat's Jam. Have a great night, Sam. I was about to leave, man. I haven't seen Jam in mad long. Jam. Let's take a look. That's GeoJam, if I remember correctly. Let's take a look at Jam. I just got a pounding headache, you guys, and I never do. It's very rare that I have a pounding headache. GeoJam. I mean, it's all the way at the bottom of its barrel, right? That stop loss would have saved you from a lot of pain, if you look at that, right? Let's look at our daily. It's a new coin that came out. Remember, it just came out on KuCoin, and it's attempting to find its bottom. I see a double bottom there. I see what you're saying. Did it double bottom? There's a chance. That's such high risk, though. It's extremely high risk. I mean, Pastel did play out. Could this be the next one to bang on you? All depends if Bitcoin can make a move here. 4 hours not really where I want it to be. I personally don't trade stuff like this. You know, here and there maybe, but I don't know. It's not my bread and butter to go finding a brand new coin that just came out and trying to buy the bottom of a double bottom. I would much rather miss this 100% gainer, 200% gainer, whatever, right? Watch it here and start trading 30 to 40% scalps once it gets above, 0.005. Me personally. Doesn't mean it can't boom to the upside. If you're looking at this as a double bottom and that's what you want, again, I'm not a financial advisor. That's up to you to take that risk. 54% gains for that risk, to me, just really not enough. If that's 200-300, then there would be a little more, edge to saddle up there. But it's completely up to you. You do whatever makes you happy. All right, let's take a look at the dollar index before we get out of here. We got to look at the dollar index. All right, look, I mean, you see a flag here now on the 4-hour time frame, which I don't like, and that has a pole, right? That could bang on us. Now, so far, we had all the bearish divergence that played out, but we got this crazy pump to the upside just not too long from now. 4 hours trying to pump. The daily also has like somewhat of it's bending though. Wow, the 1 hour wants to pump today. I mean, that's not good for Bitcoin. See that? That pumps. I mean, that's... Unless Bitcoin and the dollar pump together, which I have seen, 15-minute needs to close the doors down right here and dump to the downside. So, wow. So the dollar hitting resistance at 110.22. But wow, I mean, the bigger time frames look like we could still heat up. At least get to the top of the trend one more time. The bearish divergence is just out of control. I've never seen an asset rip through this much bearish divergence in my life. It's on the big time frames, the small time frames. It's on the 22-hour, the 2-week. The weekly, like, I think it's even on the monthly. I think there was bearish divergence on the monthly. There really is. Look, swing down, it's swinging up here. I mean, that's bearish divergence on the monthly chart. See that? That's bearish divergence on the monthly. Clear as day. Look at that. I mean, come on, dollar. You can't keep doing this. It's defying all technical analysis. But only time will tell. We're in for a rough week, everyone. I would not overtrade tonight. I would take it easy. All right? I would take it very easy. Looks like we could get a pump in everything, which is weird. The dollar, the S&P, and Bitcoin. Strange. But that really doesn't happen. So I'd be watching for a reversal if the dollar continues to pump. Who says they missed a super chat? Who says they missed a super chat? Even though I'm sick and not feeling well, right? Super chat's clear. He says the super chats are clear, unless one of them was clear. No, because someone's claiming they missed a super chat. Who wants their $4 back? No one. All right. You got to think he is busy and doesn't see everything in the comments or super chats. If you keep watching his lives, he will make that $4 back and more. Funny. ETHW. Dumping on Gate.io to the downside. I mean, horribly. I don't know what you want me to do. We'll go to the 7 and look for a bear flag. This is just a waste of my time. You know what I mean? That's why, like, come on, like really? Like, that's gonna dump even more, man. From what I see. All right. Is that cool? All right. Thanks, everybody. I appreciate it. It looks like trash, just like I said, man. If I don't go over it, there's a reason, man. It looks like it's garbage. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to go over complete garbage. I'm trying to help people out here and not, like, waste their time. Everyone, I love you. Thank you so much for being here. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Hit the bell for notifications so you can find out when I post my next video. Remember, if you came to the channel and you're already doing the right thing, you're an awesome, amazing person. I appreciate you more than you would ever know. And thank you to each and every one of you that showed up tonight and, hey, banged on that like button, gave me the support and the love. It's not easy streaming through these bare times. So everyone that hit that like, I really appreciate it. 536 likes, 494 people. We got the likes up to the watchers, $71 in chat revenue. You people are amazing. I used to not get that in the bull market. So I love you all. Take it easy, bro. End a waste. So ain't a waste. Nah, nothing's a waste. We love you, man. Get well, Sam. Just take a deep breath. Everything's fine, man. What a positive guy. I know you do one thing and people just troll you. You know what I mean? Yeah, I want to help people learn stuff that's great. That thing was in the trash. You know what I mean? So anyway, blue team, thanks. God bless you all. Wow, legit green crew. Last one thing. I see what he's saying. He wants to look at E3S. I actually like what that person just said. We'll take a look. I mean, look what it did. It bounced, retested, bounced to the upside on the 4-hour. To me, it's getting high. We got to readjust this trend line. It's like coming for that trend line. I feel like it's going to just like fake out, break out. Bitcoin does something, comes back down. But then maybe it could bounce again. Getting very overbought in the daily. You know, so it's definitely a watch area. Okay. A watch area. Everyone, thank you so much. I love you all. Peace.